Hey guys, my name's Miranda and I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I will link the original video down below for you if you want to check that one out. I've been seeing this all over the booktube community and I really think these are great videos. I've actually added a couple of the books that I've seen other booktubers recommend to my TBR list, so I thought it was awesome and a time for me to show you guys what I've been reading this year so far, what I've liked, what I've disliked, and yeah. Alright, let's jump into it. So if you see me looking down, it's just because I am reading the questions from the original video so that I don't mess anything up. Alright, so first on our list, best book you've read so far in 2018. The best book that I've read so far in 2018, and I'm not sure if this is just because I've just recently read this book and written a review on my blog, but it would have to be Somebody's Daughter by David Bell. I actually received a free ebook of this from NetGalley, and if you wanted to check out my blog review of that, I will also link that down below for you as well. It was my first 5-star read of the summer, so like I said, I'm not sure if this is the book that first comes to my mind because I've just read it and I loved it. I literally couldn't put it down. It was insatiable. I could not stop reading this one. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it was great. If you love a fast read, something with concise writing, straight to the point, I would definitely recommend this one for you. So number 2 would be the best sequel that you've read so far in 2018. Alright guys, I am totally late to this game, but I jumped on the A Court of Thorns and Roses train by Sarah J. Maas about a month or so ago. I like to intermittently read some fantasy while I am reading my thrillers and mysteries and suspense, as I've told you before. So I picked up this series, and while I really enjoyed the first book, so I thought, I just recently finished in the last week A Court of Mist and Fury, and oh my god! I love that book. It's like 600 or so pages and I literally read it in probably 2 or 3 days, and I'm pretty busy. Like, I work like 5 jobs it feels like, so my reading is sometimes at a bare minimum, but I could not stop reading this. Any free chance that I got at work, at home, I stayed up late reading this book. I loved it. So much so that before I was even done with the second book, I ordered the third book and I've already started reading that one. So while it's not been published in 2018, I did read it in 2018, so it's definitely my favorite sequel that I've read so far this year. So number 3 would be a new release that you haven't read yet but you want to. Mine would have to be The Banker's Wife by Christina Alger. I actually just picked this up at the Book Barn, one of my favorite used bookstores, last week. If you haven't seen my vlog yet, I'll link the video down below for you so you can check that out, but I was so lucky to find a copy of this. It just got published about a week or so ago, and then last week when I went to the used bookstore, they were just putting it on the shelf, so I snatched it up real quick. Gotta read it. I've been hearing great things about this on Bookstagram. If I'm being completely honest with you, I actually started reading it. I've only read the prologue so far, and while I have no idea what it's talking about, obviously because I've not read anything else with that, I actually really like it, so I'm super excited about this one. I can't wait to let you guys know what I think. If you've read this one so far, definitely leave a comment down below because I am excited about this one. So number 4 would be the most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and this, hands down for me, would have to be Tear Me Apart by J.T. Ellison. So recently I just read a J.T. Ellison book that was Lie to Me, and that one was another one where I just couldn't stop reading it once I picked it up. I actually did a buddy read with one of my favorite accounts that I always talk about on here about the A's Reads, Erica, and we finished that book pretty quickly. She wrote her review on it, so I will link her blog down below, so if you wanted to read that one, I would highly recommend it. She does really great reviews. I have not yet myself written my review on that. I'm a little behind, but I loved the writing. It was great. The story was great. The plot, the protagonist was great. Everything was so amazing about it. I liked it. So I'm actually really anticipating this new book. It is released September 1st. I don't know anything about it. I just know that I really like J.T. Ellison. So we'll see what happens. 5 would have to be biggest disappointment. And for me, that would be Our Kind of Cruelty by Armanita Hall. I got this in my Book of the Month subscription box, and this was a struggle. Honestly, I did not finish this one. It is added into my 2018 pile of DNFs. It's basically about a guy who is obsessed with his ex-girlfriend, So you're reading it from the point of view of a man who is obsessed with somebody, which kind of sounds interesting, but when you're reading it, it's really uneventful. I just really had a hard time reading this one, and I know I've seen mixed reviews. I've seen some people who really enjoyed it, and I've seen some people who felt similarly to how I felt. I got about to page 127 exactly, because I still have my bookmark in here. That's really funny, I've been looking for that one. Out of about like 300 pages or so, I would say. 273, so more than halfway with this book, and I just could not finish it. It was not interesting to me at all. But again, you guys might think differently. I just didn't really like this one. Number 6 would be Biggest Surprise. So for me, this would have to be The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I love this book. I listened to this book in audio format, which to me just heightened the experience. This one is about a wife who is divorced by her husband and watches her husband get remarried, as well as from the point of view of a young woman who is about to marry a man. I really can't go into much more of this book because nothing is as it seems, and that's all I can tell you. But when you get to that twist, and especially if you're listening to it in audio format, just hearing that one part, you're like, oh shit, what just happened? So that was exciting, and I'm not going to say anything more, and I feel like I'm rambling about it, but you should all add it to your TBR if you have not already read it. I would highly recommend it. And listening to it in audio would actually be a good idea. But I think I want to reread this one and actually physically read it just to see if I have the same experience with it. 7 would be favorite new author or a debut author to me, and for me that would have to be Sarah J. Maas. Like I said, I like to dabble in the fantasy a little bit here and there. I've not read anything by her except for The Court of Thorns so far, book 1, 2, and I've just started the 3rd book in that series. I love her writing. Her character development is amazing. The world building is amazing. I want to be Feyre. Or just anybody in that book, really. Maybe not Tamlin. So I really enjoy her work. I can't wait to read this next book and to finish the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I have to purchase the last book in that series yet, but I'm loving it. 8, I feel like, goes hand in hand with number 7, but that would have to be your favorite fictional crush. And for me, that would have to be Rysand. Or Rysand? I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, and I know that in the first book at the end it was phonetically written out for me, but I'm still not very great at it. Slash, I didn't really pay attention, I just looked at it really quick. So if you want to phonetically put that down below for me, that would be great so I can continue in my fandom life and not seem weird. So number 10 would have to be a book that made you cry, and for me that is going to definitely be Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. So I just read this book recently and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I did put a mini review of it up on my Instagram, so I will put that link down below if you'd like to check that out. This is a YA contemporary that dabbles in the rape culture and trying just to bring the truth of that to light. It's a very eye-opening book, and it's just very truthful, and some people I feel like can shy away from that, but for me it was everything I needed and more. I was like crying at the end of this. The main girl in this story is Mara, and her twin brother is accused of raping her best friend. So it's basically just about this little girl, well, I shouldn't say little, but this teenage girl's evolution into trying to figure out what is going on. Should she believe this person? Should she believe her brother? And another great thing about this book is that the main protagonist, Mara, is bisexual. So her partner is gender fluid, which I think just really brings a whole nother level of representation to the LGBTQ plus community. So I really enjoyed that. I thought the author did a really great job of not only bringing to light the rape culture and how sensitive a topic that could be, but how things are real and like that's real life, and we're dealing with this every single day. Bring in the LGBT community as well. I just thought that was really great, and kudos to you, Ashley Herring Blake. This is one of my top faves for 2018. So I'm definitely gonna double up here, but number 11 would be a book that made you happy. Going back to A Court of Mist and Fury. I love that book, and I just can't stop talking about it. I'm telling everybody. I'm at work and I'm talking about it. I'm at home, I'm talking about it. I'm with my friends, I'm talking about it. I'm like, let me be high fae all around. because that's what I want to be. I just think it was amazing. I like laughed, I cried, I felt amazing while reading that book. I am like have hit my height of fandom and I never want to feel anything else. 12B favorite book to film adaptation. While I've not seen any movies so far that I remember, I have seen Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn in the HBO film adaptation, which if you haven't already looked at my episode 1 recap, it will be linked down below for you. But I absolutely loved it. It really stays true to the book. I'm not going to go into it too much because I did an entire episode about this, but I will be doing a recap after episode 4 as well as after episode 8 because there's only 8 episodes in the season anyways, and I want to see how it evolves and if it does continue to stay true to the book Sharp Objects. Hey guys, sorry about that. My camera just died unexpectedly, so I had to switch over to videotaping on my phone. So I'm not sure what I look like or if I'm even in the field of view, but let's just go for it because I really want to finish this video. So I was on question 13, and that one would be your favorite review that you've done so far this year or favorite video that you've done, and for me that would have to be the vlog that I just did last week. If you haven't seen it, I will definitely link that down below for you. I really enjoyed doing that. My boyfriend and I had so much fun, mainly because I never know what I'm doing and or saying, and I'm kind of just a fool. But anyways, we went to our favorite bookstores. We got some of our favorite lattes, like 5 lattes that day. I thought I was dying afterwards, but it was totally well worth it. I found some really great books, so like I said, if you haven't seen that, definitely go and view that one. It was really awkward, and it was my first vlog, so that's what it's called. Number 14 would be the most beautiful book that so far that you've gotten this year and or received, and that one for me would have to be Obscura by Joe Hart. That was my bookmark. Whoops. So I don't know if you can see it, but it looks so cool. I actually won this in a giveaway, and the best part about this is if you take off the cover, you can see the hardcover is like soft, and I love it, and it feels so nice, and it's red. So if you haven't read this book before, I will link down below my review of it. I believe I gave it either 4 or 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this one. It's a little sci-fi-y, which was really cool, but it also has a little bit of thrill in there as well for you if you enjoy that. And last but not least, question 15, what books do you need to read for the rest of the year or in general, I guess? I'm just gonna go with a lot. I have a lot on my TBR. If you didn't watch my initial July TBR video, I can't even remember what's on there. I don't even know if I read all of them or if I'm even close to them. I'm kind of a mood reader, so I don't even know why I try to set TBR lists because I rarely ever follow through for them. I'll read like 1 or 2 on there and then just read whatever the hell I want after that because I just go by my mood. If I'm feeling frisky, I'll pick up something frisky. If I'm feeling sad, I'll pick up something frisky. Just kidding. So I'm just gonna leave it at a lot because there's a lot that I really enjoy and I really am looking forward to reading this summer and for the rest of the year. So yeah, that was my mid-year book freakout tag. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below, and if you have any comments about my video, definitely leave those down below too. Bye guys, thanks so much for watching.